A man lured to a local Target by the group Dads Against Predators is raising a lot of questions about the group, about what's legal and what's not, and about the safety of online spaces. For the next 10 minutes, we're digging into many of those questions. We're going to start with what we know happened at that Target just 1 week ago. Investigators say that 3 men with Dads Against Predators, or DAP, lured a man to Target through the social media app Meetup on Tuesday night. Now, once the man was inside the Target, police say the DAP men approached and confronted him. They say at least one of the men of the group was recording the interaction on his cell phone. Police say then a fight broke out, and the man they say was lured there took out a handgun, fired 1 round, and shot one of the DAP members' legs. Police say the DAP men took the man's gun and left the Target. The other man went to a Forsyth County hospital for injuries that he got during that fight. Now, Winston-Salem police say DAP used the app Meetup to lure that 25-year-old to Target. If you're not familiar with Meetup, let's give you a quick rundown of what it is. On its website, the company describes itself as a platform for finding and building local communities. People use Meetup to meet new people, learn new things, find support, get out of their comfort zones, and pursue their passions together. Now, taking a look at the app's terms of service, a person must be at least 18 years old to sign up for that app. And when a user agrees to the terms of service, they agree to follow the usage and the content policies. It includes the policy Be Real. It says, in part, all members should be open about who they are, their intentions, their affiliations. All group and event descriptions should be accurate so members can make informed decisions about their participation. Now, it also states creating fake accounts, malicious accounts, or accounts that mean to impersonate another person is prohibited on Meetup. Well, experts say there's a lot at stake with this. Confronting someone who may have committed a crime can become violent quickly. It can ruin an ongoing investigation and could hurt innocent bystanders.
Someone that's not a sworn law enforcement officer with the authority to arrest someone has no authority to get them off the street. You have to go through the police department to do that.
If you have any information that's forthcoming about an investigation, call the police and let them do it. And maybe it might stand up in court, and maybe it might have an attempt to help some people instead of put them in harm's way.
Dads Against Predators isn't just impacting investigations here. They've come under fire for taking the law into their own hands in their home state of Ohio. Prosecutors in the Cleveland area say that group poses as kids online and then sets up meetings with older men. They record the videos of the interactions. They post them online. Prosecutors want the group to stop what they're doing.
They're judge and jury on the street here. We wouldn't treat our offenders like this. We wouldn't, harass them. We wouldn't threaten them. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to see, our efforts overshadowed by people who have no training, have no experience, are not even law enforcement officers, who believe that they're protecting children.
In 2020, law enforcement agencies in another part of Ohio threatened to prosecute the group if they did not stop luring people and filming it. As far as we know, no charges were filed against them there. Well, right now, Winston-Salem police have not announced any warrants for arrest related to that Target incident. At the time, no one is facing charges. Well, public incidents like what happened at Target can raise some alarms for parents for sure and have them wondering what they can do to keep their children safe online. The nonprofit National Center for Missing and Exploited Children says that it received 29.3 million reports of suspected child sexual exploitation last year alone.
Predators recognized that there was going to be more hours online where teens and children were going to be unsupervised, and they were encouraging each other to seize upon that opportunity.
Last year's 29 million reports are an increase of 35% from 2020 and an all-time high. Nearly all of them came from phone and social media companies, which are now required to report possible illegal images to the National Center. So what can you do to make sure that your child does not become a victim? Well, there are tracking apps that use GPS and can even keep a log of which apps your child uses or websites that they go to. Is that an appropriate way to monitor their behavior? Ryan Cody spoke with a psychologist about it.
Parenting is fraught with decisions that feel like they're the most important decision in the history of decisions. But the problem is sometimes that's true.
Dr. Aaron Krasnow doesn't pull any punches as a psychologist talking to parents about modern-day parenting.
When we're raising small humans, some of those moments are incredibly critical.
It's the logic behind helicopter parenting or hovering over your kid's every move, like this now viral screenshot of a parent using a GPS tracker app to follow Alexa around everywhere. The app even lets them know how fast she's driving and even when she needs to charge her phone.
We need all the help we can get.
Yuri and Jill are some of the parents using a similar app.
Safe driving, I think this, is the element for us. So if he goes over speed, we do have some notifications based on that element, and it's an open dialogue with him. He knows we're monitoring, so it keeps everybody a little bit honest.
Honesty is key, according to Dr. Krasnow, who says these apps are okay, as long as everyone is aware.
As long as there is an agreement that it's being used in the best interest of the child and not only based on the fear of the parent or only the mistrust of the child, which is often how these things are used.
Better than ignoring technology altogether, like the tragic story of a Mesa teen dying by suicide, just days after saying she was suicidal on Twitter. Clearly the signs were missed.
Look at websites or to look at social media channels. And I do encourage parents to take an active role in that regard.
Well, some parents do take an extreme approach to handling technology for their kids, and that approach is no technology at all. A growing number of parents in the tech industry are restricting or banning screen time for their kids. Pierre Laurent has worked for companies including Microsoft and Intel. He says the tech industry designs products to hook users. Pierre and his wife Monica became concerned that their 3 kids would miss out on real-life experiences when they were on their devices, so they decided to limit their screen time.
Young children need to grow in a different environment that doesn't have that much technology in it.
Well, researchers are still learning more about how technology affects kids, but some early studies of heavy tech users show potential links to a rise in teen suicide rates, addiction, anxiety, loss of social skills. Laurent's 13-year-old daughter spends her free time knitting and playing in the backyard.
Do you ever miss technology?
Not really, no. The only thing I might miss technology for is listening to music or an audiobook.
We have another story about this. Alicia Kozak was a victim of an online predator. She was lured from her home in Pittsburgh and held captive in Virginia for days. She was 13 when it happened. She's now an advocate working to make sure that what happened to her doesn't happen to other kids. But Kozak says for parents, taking away devices altogether is not the answer.
They have to monitor what their children are doing online. They have to pay attention. And I know it might seem like you're invading their privacy, but you're not. You're keeping them safe.
Bottom line here, whether you want to completely get rid of your children's tech or monitor their usage with an app or open communication, experts say the important thing is to talk to them about the online dangers. This can help them keep an open line of communication with you and stop them from becoming a victim.